Rikers Island, Rikers Island, Rikers Island, ping, 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 ping. Yo, you know when you first get locked up and you go to Rikers Island, they used to take us to the back, right? And take us into Mars 6. If I'm not mistaken, Mars 6, and you either went to the buildings or the sprungs, right? My first time ever that I went to Rikers, if I remember correctly, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't go to the sprungs. I went to the building. And then I think the second time I went to the sprungs, or was it the first time? Either way, when I got to the sprungs, I was like, yo, I need to get up out of here, bro. It was cold. Yo, the sprungs is freezing, bro. Yo, am I kidding, bro? If you ever been to Rikers Island, them sprungs be brick. And I had a fight immediately as I got into the house. I was there like not even the full day. The whole day didn't go by. It went by like I think like 2 or 3 hours. Like I was around, boo, right? I don't know no better, right? I'm made my bed, pop, and everything like a dunk, right? And somebody had told me, like, yo, if you get locked up, don't make your bed, all this. So I made my bed, ping, 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 and everything comfortable, you heard? And then homeboy was on the phone, if I'm not mistaken. I needed that jack. I needed to use the phone, you heard? But it was getting nighttime already. It was getting like dark. And when I went to use the phone, the dude told me, like, nah, you gotta wait. So I was like, I gotta wait. I'm like, all right, here we go with this phone thing. Cause it was explained to me, like, you gotta remember, I'm from New York City, Brooklyn. So the Brooklyn dudes was already explaining to me, like, yo, you're gonna go to the island, this and this is gonna happen, boo, right? So boom. I'm like, yo, I gotta use the phone. Cause I seen one dude like, yo, just chilling. He was there for like, I got in there. I'm like, yo, we're gonna go to sleep soon, homie. I gotta use the phone. And son was on the jack hogging it, bro. And remember, when I started going to Rikers Island, it was no clicks. Like, a lot of these dudes got these clicks now. Like, 3 minutes, what is it, 12 minutes or something like that? I don't know. But there was no clicks. So immediately, when I got on that phone in the sprungs, I hung up. It got popping. I got packed up. I was out of there. Boom. But then I knew, like, yo, I'm going to have to keep popping for this phone, bro. Because I need to rock that phone. Anybody that knows me, that's been locked up with me, again, you could take it like I'm showing off. However, I don't even care, right? Respectfully, because a lot of you dudes are weirdos on the internet, right? And you be like, oh, this dude is showing off. Bro, but I promise you, you can ask anybody. I always had the phone. Whatever house I went to, I'm coming for that phone. Respectfully, facts. So, I just got on it like that. Boom. Like every house that they'll take me to, pom, I step to the phone like immediately. Boom. Yo, there's a Spanish phone. There needs to be one now, bro. Like my whole shit was the phone. Because remember, the people that really hogging up to get on the phone is if you making moves normally, right? But I was making moves, right? But I'm not going to share my moves with nobody else, right? So one time when I was on the phone, this dude was like, "Why you gonna make moves? If I'm gonna make moves, you bugging? Asking me if I'm gonna make moves?" So if I'm not mistaken, he got washed up after like a day or two. But anyway, my whole thing was the phones, bro. Ask anybody that's ever been locked up with Warpath. They'll tell you, bro. Boy is a phone hogger. I'm coming for that phone. Facts. And after that, after a minute that the building started noticing like, oh, boy is not having it. He's coming for the phone. I didn't even have to do nothing. I promise you. Every house that they'll pack me up in and they'll put me in, dudes already knew. Son is coming for the phone. So the Morenos, they'll be like, yo, that's your phone right there. I swear to God, bro. I promise you. I was just going in houses, like, obviously in the beginning, I thumped, cut niggas, all that, right? But I'm just skipping that, right, for my videos. Pop. And you could just watch the other videos in the beginning of this channel where them stories are spread it out. But it got to a point where I already put in so much work that I started getting to houses and dudes were like, yo, War, yo, that's you. You get it? So like the phone was already there hanging like, yo, War, that's you. And I'm like, all right, boom. You get it? And then I'll spread the time if I felt like it amongst the Spanish niggas that was in the house. You feel me? Like one time, I always say this and I don't like to put him down, right? Or I don't want him to feel like I'm putting him down, so I don't say his name, right? But he knows what I'm talking about and he gets me tight with this. And if you watching, I'm still tight, bro. This is a situation that's going to stay with me till I die or till you come to my channel and explain it because I saw you on the bus. I saw you on the bus. You didn't explain nothing. I asked you about it. I was like, yo, bro. And you was like, yo, I just came from breaking night. I'm drunk. Bro, this shit was just weird. Check this out. So there's this dude from around my way. Nigga had a body. Nigga had a body, bro. So I get into the house. We was young. We was younger. But he was way younger than me. This is an adolescent house, but we're adults. You get it? So if you've been bitten, you know that the adults are going to play adolescent. Facts. So it was me, Boo Black from 125th Street. Facts. You can ask Boo Black. We was the oldest dudes in the house. Like, I wasn't an adolescent at this point. I'm an adult, but I'm playing adolescent, right? So you was able to do that back then on Rikers Island. I'm pretty sure you can still do it now. Like, what's the big deal? You just got to say, I'm 17, I'm 18, whatever it is for you to go into the adolescence, right? And you're 20-something. They're going to put you, guess where? In the adolescence. Facts. So I said that I was a lower age, but I was already 20-something. Boo Black was probably 40-something, 30-something, and he was in the adolescence. So when I went in there, I peeped that Boo Black was older. You get it? And the first dude that I get the encounter with that is about to pop off with is me and Boo Black. I promise you. But shout out to Boo Black because I give it to him. So anyway, I go in the house. This nigga, my little man from around my way, I don't like saying his name because I don't want him to feel no way, right? If he sees the video or whatever, but I said his name before. I slipped up and I mentioned his name. But I really don't care because I feel he should have stepped up for that a long time ago, right? But the kid Dace was locked up with me. I said his name. That's his real name. That's what they call him in my hood. So Dace, I said it again, right? Because this dude has me sick, right? Not sick where I want to beat him up, but it's like, damn, Dace, I said this story. You hear the story. You hear me saying it. I would be like, yo, let me tell my story. Because he probably got a good story, right? Like, I get to Mar 4 Lower, right? Boom. I'm in Mar 4 Lower. Mind you, the Puerto Rican niggas, the Spanish niggas don't got no jack. No jack. There's 3 phones. There's 3 phones, bro. The Spanish niggas got no jack. Facts. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, where the Spanish phone at? Ace tells me, nah, nigga, the Morenos got all them phones. I'm like, you crazy, boy. I wasn't even in there. I promise you, I wasn't even in there 3 minutes. Trust me, bro. Ask Dace. I promise you. Dace is from my neighborhood on 58th Street. Y'all can ask Dace. You can ask anybody that know me. When I get locked up, I'm an animal, bro. Respectfully. So, boom. Now, I'm by myself. I'm not the type of nigga to go looking for kings or none of that shit. I don't even want them involved in my shit because I feel like they're going to tell me to chill. I'm not trying to chill. I came to bring the drama. You heard? Facts. So, boom. I get up in the house. Ping. I see Boo Black and them. They already talking. They talking. You heard? So I see Dace. I'm like, yo, what up, Dace? He's like, oh, shit, what up? Oh, babe, we talking. I look down. Dace ain't got no sneakers on. What? I'm like, yo, son, where your sneakers at? He's like, yo, I had a fight. They took my sneakers. Huh? What? I'm tight. I'm like, what? They took your sneakers. You didn't do nothing to get your no sneakers back? Nothing? He's walking like that, bro. So mind you, Marfo Lower, we go to the mess hall, but we go to our own mess hall. If you remember Marfo Lower, you go outside, boom, and you go like right in the middle of the hallway, pop. That's your mess hall. But that don't mean something is sweet about Marfo Lower. Marfo Lower was a popping house. And 10 lower and all that is across from us. Mar 2, Murder Mar, and all that, Murder Mar 9 and all that is that way. But they put dudes for Murder Mar 9 in our house. But I'm going to get to that. Boom. So Dace, the nigga got slippers on, bro. I'm feeling bad for him. I'm like, this nigga's from around my way, bro. So I get impulsive, quick, boom, like, yo, where your sneakers at? Yo, they took my sneakers. When I got in here, I got it popping. They beat me up. They took my sneakers. I looked to I said, who? I looked to the back. I see the little morenitos, right? I'm like, who was it, dumb niggas? He's like, nah, it was him right there. Boom. So I see Boo Black pass me. I'm like, yo, let me holler at you, son. Facts. Let me holler at you, son. Boom. He's like, what up? I'm like, yo, what up, my man sneakers, bro? Son is my dude from the town. He looked at me like, yo, boom, he got it popping, you heard? But I'm going to holler at you right now. I said, yo, homie, try to make it quick. So I wasn't having it, you heard? I'm amped up. I'm like, yo, try to make it quick. Facts. I said, yo, Dace, we're going to pop? We out of here, homie? If you don't get your sneakers back, somebody's getting lit. So the niggas in the back is Super Dave. I'm remembering their names now. Super Dave from Marcy. Damn, he live on Marcy. He live up by Nostrand. My bad. Not Marcy. Marcy's the projects, but you get off at Nostrand too. He live on Nostrand, but you walk straight like past the McDonald's. I used to go to Nostrand every day, all day. Whoever knows me knows Nostrand, one of my stomping grounds. So boom. Super Dave was a good dude too. So boom, Super Dave passed by. He smiling. I'm like, boom, I'm not trying to laugh with nobody. You heard? He smiled. He looked at Dace. I'm like, boom, Boo Black comes back. Pop. But he comes back with purple Uptowns. Pop. And he put them on the floor. I said, those are yours, Dace? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yo, good looking, son. Boom. I'm like, yo, but come in. Let me holler at you. He's like, what up? I'm like, yo, what up with the jack? He's like, oh, I don't know. At this time, when I went in Marfo Lower, understand this. The Koreans, the Chinese niggas, they had the fucking Rikers Island locked down. Bro, I promise you. The nigga, bro, they had it locked down, bro. I'm talking about smashed, bro. I was like, nah, this shit is all true, what they was telling me. The Chinese niggas, listen to me, Korean, whatever the fuck they was, right? His name was Monkey. They had Marfo Lower smashed, bro. So he's like, yo, you got to talk to Monk. To Monk. So I said, yo, Monkey, come here. Boom. He can't. I told him, yo, what up with the phone? I need to touch that jack, bro. Facts. So the way I was talking, the way I was moving around the house, I had my chain on. I had a little velour suit, if I'm not mistaken. Every time I packed up, anybody will tell you, oh, the nigga with the velour suit. Every time I packed up to go to another house, I threw on my velour suit, pop, and I had a big medallion with a lion on it with a crown. I promise you, with my chain. So I had the lion with the crown with my big-ass chain on. Boom. Now, you know, niggas, if the son is holding that chain, he's somebody or he better be somebody, you heard? But was nobody and their mother trying to take no chain from me or nothing, bro. Facts. So, boom. As soon as I seen the Chino, boom, I said, yo, what's up with the phone, boo? He's like, oh, yo, so check this out. Boom. What, you need to get on the mic? I said, bro, listen to me, bro. I need hours on that phone, bro. There's 3 phones in here. There's no Spanish phone. That was my job. I'm getting a Spanish phone, homie. Facts. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And my family, whoever knows me, will tell you. But I don't need the front for the internet. My family is black and Puerto Rican. Facts. But I'm rolling with what's valid, boy. And the abuse was out this world. Facts. So I don't know all these stories that these dudes is telling, like, yo, but a lot of these stories that you hearing on this internet is made up lies, homie. I'm telling you the facts. I promise you. So I was like, yo, I'm rolling on my Puerto Rican side here, bro. Fuck that. But just because it was an abuse, homie, that shit is crazy. So I was there when the Puerto Ricans had nothing, nigga, nothing. I was on the island where Puerto Rican niggas was telling me, yo, why you became king, nigga? And then, check this out. And then, when I see these niggas again the next time, they was all kings. Facts. Rest in peace to Ro. Ro was one of the first ones. I said this. Go back and look at my videos. Years ago, over 6-7 years ago. Ro told me, yo, why you got involved in that? The next time I seen Ro, he was one of the head leaders of the Latin Kings nationwide, worldwide, I promise you. So I was like, yo, let me ask you something, bro. Why you got involved in that? He started laughing. And I was just with Ro in the street before he died. Facts. And I remind him always, I said, yo, Ro, you don't remember me when I was little? And you asked me he's like, yeah, I remember that. I said, nah, do you? He said, yeah, we was in Marfo Lower. I said, damn, you do remember. Because I didn't tell him it was in Marfo Lower. He told me it was in Marfo Lower. Facts. So anyway, boom. I got to stay on track because I forget. But anyway, boom. Marfo Lower, bro. So when I told the Chino about the phone, the Chino came. I said, yo, whatever I got to do for that mic, I'm going to do right now. So I'm trying to ask, right? Because that's the way we pushed up for the phone. So normally if you want to, you could just pop. You get it? But I was like, I didn't want to pop or blast somebody in that house. I was already been cutting everybody, homie. Pop. Niggas already knew me. Facts. But I wasn't trying to send nobody to the hospital in Marfo Lower because I was trying to stay in Marfo Lower because Dace was in Marfo Lower and they from my hood. And if I would have blast something, they were going to play their position. I was going to get packed up. So I said, but I did say, if this nigga don't give me no jack, if I don't get no jack right now, somebody's going to the hospital. So I took Monkey, I took him to the back. Pop. I said, yo, let me holler at you. Boom, we walked, boom. I said, yo, what up with the jack, homie? He's like, oh, let me tell you something. Boom. I said, my name is King Warpath, bro. But I told him just like, but forget about all that king shit. My name is Warpath. Boom. He's like, yo, but check this out. That phone is exactly what he told me, bro. I'm lying to you not. He didn't have to tell me this. He could have just said, yo, nigga, that's my phone. That's that. He came at me with the facts. He said, yo, homie, I'm not going to lie to you. You king, right? I said, yeah, but I'm not pushing up for nothing for king. That shit don't hold no weight with me. I'm going to get on the phone. He's like, yeah, but let me just tell you something, bro. Your bro just left this house. One of the bros had just left this house. And he was like, he told me if another king come through that I felt that was worthy of it and he's stepping up for the phone, he's like, give him the phone. So he's like, go ahead. That's your phone. Facts. So I didn't even have to put I didn't have to put him in the hospital. Nobody. Respects to